Okay, this is How To Tuesday. We are here today and we're just going to be making little individual pizzas. All right, so the goal of this is how to make a individual pizza using some of the pita bread to make it nice and easy, okay? Biggest things we need: chip. I got my pepperoni. We have olives, thinly sliced tomatoes, some peppers. We even have some barbecue, some chicken. Two types of sauce: pizza sauce, and we have like a pesto basil sauce as well. So remember, the first thing we always want to do, because we are going to be using both the stovetop and we're going to be using the oven, is to set our bake temperature. We're going to do 375. We're going to let that get started. Remember, I always turn on the oven light so I can see right away. Okay, first thing we do with this is we're going to prep this side of the bun or of the pita bread. I'm going to put a little bit of butter on. So what the butter does is, as we heat up the pan, it allows this to kind of get a nice little crust. So put just a thin little layer of butter just to make sure we don't scorch it, but it also gives a little crust to it, which is, I don't know, I kind of like that. If you're super creative, you can put some herbs on this. Put pesto on this before, not pesto, I should say basil's on this before. You can do little breadcrumbs if you like that little breadcrumb. So nothing too major. We're going to put that on our plate right there. I'm going to take this pan, we'll put it back over here so that when we're ready to cook, I can get it nice and warm. Today what we're going to do is, I'll put the butter over there, is let's do a red sauce. Okay, so we got our pizza red sauce, very straightforward. I'm going to spoon it on, I'm going to cover it. Don't need a whole lot of the red sauce. Remember, most pizzas, the more sauce you put on it, the less actual traditional pizza is. Now, I am not Italian by any means, but I'm just going to start with a pretty good little spoonful, kind of go close to the edges. The only things that, I think this could be done all the way down third, second grade maybe. I don't think this is too difficult to do, personally, but it is really easy. I'd say if you get the olives that are already pre-cut, that makes life easier for you. Okay, now this just depends on what you want. We were thinking about doing chicken with barbecue. That's very tasty. And so I think I'm going to just do a pepperoni one with some olives to start. Okay, so pepperoni out. This is a turkey pepperoni. Regular pepperoni works too. We're just going to make it look nice, as pretty as we can, right to the edges. So those of you who haven't had your Wednesday pepperoni pizzas for a while, here you go. Really easy. And we'll just put that one there, one in the middle, call it good. The other thing, I don't know where you go. I'm going to put some olives. We got some olives here, just sliced olives. Put that all around, a little pepperoni and olives. If you like peppers, I'm going to put some peppers on mine. I know my kids don't always enjoy the peppers, but I do. All right. Looking pretty good. I'm going to wash my hands really quick or dry my hands off. Okay. I like basil on everything, so I'm going to put a little bit of basil. This is just dried basil. If you can get the real stuff, that's even better. The leafy basil is amazing on pizzas as it wilts. And I got some pizza seasoning as well, so I'm going to put a little bit of that on. These are just seasonings that came with our little spice rack, so I like seasonings. So, pretty straightforward. Just going to put some cheese on here. As we put the cheese on here, I start in the middle and then work its way out. Okay, right to the edges. Just try to keep it looking pretty. Once the cheese goes on, usually what I do is I then turn my pan on to medium to get it going. So I'm going to light that on the medium. Because you put butter on the bottom, you don't need to do anything in the pan. I use cast iron because we have a cast iron stovetop. So I can take the cast iron straight from the stovetop into the oven. If you don't have cast iron, all you have to do is have a lid, cook it on here, keep it at the medium, it'll cook underneath, maybe add a little bit of water to melt that cheese. It's really up to you. You can do it either way. I like to go from one to the other. My oven is almost there. So if I had chicken, I just put some chicken on top, put a little bit of barbecue on, and we'd be good to go. But this, here's how I like to do the tomatoes. I like to do the tomatoes on last. And then if you are really like some of the pizza, okay, so some of the pizza, obviously mozzarella is the best. We're using a Mexican style cheese from Costco. You kind of just use what you have. I'm going to use a little bit just of, oh, where is it? I'm going to use some sock squeezins. We call them sock squeezins. Some Parmesan cheese just on top. This has a little bit more flavor with those bites, and it looks good too. So we'll put that there. Alrighty. So the pan is heating up nice. We're at 295. We got to get 375. I think what we are going to be able to do is once that hits 315, I'm going to put this on the pan. We're going to get that going. That's maybe 325. I'm going to get that cooking a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to slide that in. Okay. If you're over here, what you'd be hearing is a little bit of that sizzle of the butter. Okay. A lot of people, you put a little bit of garlic on the bottom, but for the most part, this can kind of stay here for a little bit. As that gets closer to 375, I'll check it with the spatula just to see how we're doing. See if we need to do any more to it. So in this stage, there's very little that's happening regarding the cheese melting or anything. Okay. And sometimes, if 375 is not hot enough because you just want to melt the cheese, you can just put it in there a little bit earlier. So it's kind of wait and see. To brown the bottom, I'd say give it about three minutes or so. Nothing too major. Let's go 6 minutes. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should be done, should be done. Timer off, yes. Let's see what we got. Now we're gonna pull back, pull this out. It is toasty. Now if you can see, it just slides on there nice and easy. Everything's melted. Simple, pretty simple. We're going to put that onto there. We're going to put this back up here. I'm going to leave the oven mitt there with it. All right. Now, if this was the chicken, this is possibly when I put some of the more barbecue sauce on. But this is, Mr. Westrow, thank you for this. We appreciate it. It is going to great use. So, I'm going to cut that. So you just have to kind of choose which way you want to cut it. I'm going to cut it down the middle. Now, if you're like me, I like 4s, but sometimes we do 6s. But I'm just going to do 4s. All right, so this can teach math really well as well. So I know sometimes that's the thing that we're always kind of concerned about. So what you can do is you can take piece by piece. Ooh, it's not too bad. If you had real mozzarella, this would be crazy stuck together with some of that. So, but if you look at the bottom, nice and toasty, lots of crunch. It's really hot, so I'm going to take a little bite. But if you look at the bottom, look at how nice and crunchy that is. No, it's too hot. I'll come back. This is commercial time, and we'll have some of our pizza. All right, we'll see you in a second. Bye. Welcome back from the commercial. So I'm going to take a little bite. It's still piping hot. Oh, I don't know if you hear that crunch, but that's fantastic. We tried this a few different ways. One thing I do recommend is actual pizza sauce or the pesto sauce. I remember trying to make actual dough. The reason we went to the pita is they're super easy. You can get them at Costco or at Safeway. Make sure they're on the low shelf at Safeway. But they turn out great. And so my hope is you can do this, in your oven. You can do this on the barbecue. There's lots of different avenues to use the pita bread to make these pizzas. You get 4 decent-sized little pieces of pizza, and they're a great lunch. I don't know. 6 minutes in the oven, maybe another 2 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes of prep. 15 minutes, all it takes from looking at what ingredients to put it on to eating it. Not too shabby for kids. Like I say, 2nd grade and on up. Need some help, obviously. By the time they're 4th, 5th grade, they should be able to do this on their own. So, How To Tuesday, how to make pizza. Personal pan pizza. Pat's personal pan pizza. Pepperoni. We'll see y'all later. Bye. That's good. That is really good.
You want?
Oh yeah.